What do we got? Okay, that's a great question. Yeah, that's a great question. Was this a dream or was this real life? Just the ghost part or all of it? Kind of all of it. Okay. Okay, great. Right. Great. Okay. Like, did that literally happen or was it an exaggeration? Okay, so these questions all center about like the reality, right, of what happened. Yeah, okay, great. So this is something that the writer of this piece desperately needs to know because if it was real to that person, they would just assume, right, that probably that it would come across as real to somebody else. But there are serious questions, right? Was this a dream? Like, these are things we need to know. Introducing major characters as well in the story, very important. That's going to have to be handled carefully, right? Who is she? How did you meet her? How is she relevant to the story? This is all stuff that needs to be covered in like what they call in movies exposition. There should be some brief explanation, sort of shepherding the reader right along this little path that you want them to go down. Um, yeah. Anything else? What made it feel dreamy? Like, did the whole thing feel like a dream? Hmm. Okay. Okay. Great. No. Again, this is a story full of mythological characters, right? There are vampires. There are ghouls. There are like what is happening, right? Okay. So the writer is going to need to take some time to set you in time and place. Yes, definitely. And questions like that help stimulate that thinking, right? Is they get writers to do that stuff so you're just reading along with their paper instead of wondering what it is the heck they're talking about. Yeah? Cool. Yes. Good. Oh, interesting. So there was an inhalation, but not an. Okay, so how about this? Is that okay? Okay, so that needs to be covered, right? If there was like chaos forming, and then there was this like tipping point, right? The point at which I assume it started to go which way's crazy? This way's crazy? This way's sane? It started to go this way was the point at which the ghost was released, I would guess. And that wasn't featured sort of largely enough in the outline for you? Okay. And I feel like I've not. No? Is that what you were talking about? Yeah. Great. Okay. Fair, so the question is like, go ahead. Okay. 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 Cool. Yeah. So again, that's a totally fair question. Yeah. And so the writer would need to address that. Yeah. At some point, if you can kick, because a lot of people can't. Yeah. They get stuck with them. Yeah. If you could kick this, why didn't you? Yeah. Great question. Fair question. Anything else? Okay. Cool. Okay. Great. Questions? Oh. Okay. This is a good question. Would the writer have been better off making this like a Harry Potter story? Like it's not happened to me; it happened to Fred. Fred is the character. Fred Potter, right? Totally not copyrighted. Fred Potter. This is who this happened to. Um, why? What would that help? No, it's a totally valid question, right? And I think it's, again, if I'm reading it right, it's based on this idea that there's all these fanciful, unbelievable things in there, and those are sort of stuck together with this I who you assume, I guess, is real. Is that right? and it's the problem of this very real thing next to these very fanciful things that's sort of breaking the outline for you in some way. Is that right? How is it? How is it? Is it? You're like, this can't be real. This can't have happened to somebody, or no? Again, and it's a great question. I just want to know more about it.
Also, he talks about God, and
Uh-huh.
like first off, capitalizes God's name, and then capitalizes the word trolls. And so I'm just like,
Okay, so yeah, okay. So like, who is this person? Are they grounded in some kind of spirituality, something like that? You don't. It feels like you don't get where they're coming from because they're kind of all over the place. Okay, that makes total sense. Yeah, that makes total sense.
Also, just like the way, like he always said, she, Rachel,
Yes.
he has to keep saying, putting in parentheses, Rachel, she.
Okay.
Just explain it.
Yeah.
Just keep
Once you
going.
once you've explained it, this is pronoun antecedent trouble, right? If there's only one woman in the thing, then you say she, and we kind of know who you're talking about. Yeah, that's fair.
It's like this, like you can always go back and then change it, and like put some fluff in it.
Yeah.
You want to just reiterate who
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Exactly. Okay, cool. These are all great questions. Yeah, these are all great questions. Where are you coming from, right? That this is your framework. Yeah, and this stuff feels so fanciful and unbelievable. Yeah, might the paper come across if it was in the third person? This you're talking about the third person pronoun. It happened to me. It happened to him or her. Yeah, and it might come off as more believable as if it was like one step removed from this like ultra personal I. Yeah, pronoun. These are great. These are.
Also because like I just feel like it's getting more, it catches my attention more because like now like look at like all these like J.K. Rowling stuff and things like and I think that's the way
Like fits in it because it would fit in like a genre. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Instead of being this like, oh, how do I deal with this thing? Like, yeah, these are great. Yeah, these are great comments, great questions. Yeah, exactly. And things that a writer would want to think about. Yeah, if they were revising their outline and trying to turn it into a paper. Totally cool. Yeah, totally cool. Very, very helpful. Great. Anything else? No, because I think we're out of time, aren't we? We've gone over a little bit. Oh, wait.
In the outline, he seems to repeat himself.
How so?
There's a lot of repeating words.
Like
chaos. You, what is it? Other. I knew what was happening. Feel it.
yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. And this is in the outline, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's stuff that was kind of just pulled like, as I understand it. This is the outline. I mean, you read the Freewrite. The Freewrite is very, very raw. Yeah, it's very it's sort of out onto the page, and some of that bled over into the outline. Yeah, and so I'm not sure that those repeated words. Well, I know they didn't because I've seen the finished version of this. Didn't make it into the next version of the paper. They're just there because the person, right, wanted to hit that point extra hard, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
Yeah? Yeah, that's why they're there. Fair question. Yeah, fair question. Is this language going to carry directly from the outline into your paper? If so, it might come across a little too forceful or too however you think it would come across. Might you consider cutting it? Question mark. Or changing it to this suggestion. Yeah? Perfect. Great. Okay, great. Super cool. Thank you.